I think we can get started. I'm losing my voice tonight. So we'll go around and why don't we introduce your characters? The characters recently, at the end of last session, all got to level 3. So they may have new subclasses added to them. And the prompt for tonight is, as you will hear in my little summary, characters are stuck in a very long boat tour for the next few days. And so I'd love to hear what your characters are up to while confined to a very, very small boat. How do they pass the time? So let's start with Yusuf.
So, name's I'm gonna be on this boat, and to pass the time, it's not going to be too hard to pass the time. I recently acquired a random light spot in the corner of my eye that won't go away. So my time will be used to avoid that random light. Always there, always watching, always calling out to me. In fact, I wish I had nothing to do with my time, but my mind, like the others, is starting to go.
Okay. Next up, we'll go to Jason.
Hi, I'm Ed. I'm playing Jasa. She's a halfling rogue, and Jasa is spending a lot of her time trying to sit, sort of almost meditatively, sitting in the boat, and she's trying to get more and more accustomed to not relying on her vision because she can't see anything in the Underdark. And so she spends a lot of her time trying to just listen and get a feel for what's around her through the sounds that she hears.
Okay. Next up is Draz.
Uh, I'm Scott. I'm playing Drazzle, a lizard folk cleric of the light. And Drazzle has been thinking about the time underground and away from the sun and how it's depressing to him. And he thinks it might be depressing to others. So he's been surreptitiously just kind of patting people on the shoulder and casting guidance on them, then asking them questions and asking them to do things like, can you stand on one foot? Pat, pat. And then he sees that they can do, wow, you can do this in boat, even though boat moves. You have good acrobatic skill. And then he asks others, do you know about this information about where we are or how the boat moves? Pat, pat. And then listens for answers. He's certain that will be annoying. So he also occasionally sits in the back of the boat and peels off some of his flaking, molting skin and casts a light spell on it and just sees how long it floats on the water behind the boat before it sinks.
All right. Next up, Ethan.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I play Dolphix, gnome fighter. And Dolphix is spending all his time on the boat, obsessively reading this battered, battle damaged, and fraying spell book. And he's just starting to make sense of some of the jumbled words on it, but he still wants to know what is this page 37? And that's what he's spending all his days doing.
All right. Last but certainly not least, Alex.
Hey everyone, I'm playing Vic Valentine, half elf bard. Um, Vic has sort of an insufferable need to be liked by people, and so being confined in the small space, he's probably in some ways spending a lot of time with Eldeth talking. They've developed a little bit of a relationship, and he made a pledge that should anything happen to her, he would head back to Gonalgrim, so he's probably talking a lot with her. But he also has sort of an affinity for Stool, who is our little Myconide almost childlike companion, and so every time Drazzle is like bringing up this guidance spell, Vic's kind of like right there to like get in on that because he is wanting to do a little showboating to keep the young stool somewhat entertained and one up all of these different little performances. So he's going along with every little dare that Drazzle is putting forth. Vic is eager to please.
Okay, so when we left the characters last time, a short time they had started to escape across Darklake from a small Koatoa village called Slubidope that was in the process of being absolutely annihilated by the demon lord Demogorgon, who had escaped from the abyss and is now somehow on this plane. The group escaped, possibly killing one of their former companions in the process. But they still have 3 NPC characters who are traveling with them, and Vic mentioned 2 of them. Eldeth is a dwarf from Gauntlgrim, so the area sort of a dwarven stronghold between the Underdark and the surface. Stool is a myconoid sprout. He is just trying to get back to his patch of mushrooms. And Sareth is a drow who is also imprisoned with them and who had a bit of a break in reality in which he was driven into a rage, killed another drow, and has no recollection of that. As the group escaped on their way to trying to get to Gracklestone in order to meet other NPCs that they knew, and also to try to find a way home. They not a tremendous amount happened last time. They did come across an unusual individual from the Society of Brilliance, which is some sort of weird organization that tries to solve the Underdark's problems. It's not clear that the representative of the Society of Brilliance necessarily took the characters very seriously about what they had experienced in Slobodope, but nonetheless, they tried to convince them. And so where are we open today? It is day 12 since you escaped from the prison. And you know roughly, if all things go well, it would be about 20 days of travel across the lake to Gracklestone. And so your days are largely filled with things like trying to fish, right? And trying to do whatever you can to survive. The Darklake itself is not fresh water. So you supplement that with either spells or as you come across sort of rocky outcrops, you can sometimes find springs, sometimes find mushrooms growing there that have water in them, etc. And so as we start day 12, and this is the Underdark, so it's really hard to even tell when these things, when day turns to night. And because you're in boats, you're basically taking shifts as well. So the first thing I'd like, I have from our last session, these are how the boats are broken down, and I would love if you guys want to change that, please let me know.
There's no land of any sort where we can stop and get out. So you said for how many days we're just in a boat?
There are occasional patches of land. So occasionally you'll find like a rocky where you can actually sleep for the night. But there are nights where you guys are like doing shifts before you find land.
Okay.
Shifts of land.
So I was just thinking
uh,
about the process of daily defecation off the side of a boat and company.
that's not something we'll explore too much.
Super.
Just
But,
happens.
okay.
I've got guidance if you need help doing it in public. Performance
Scott,
check.
everybody poops.
That's,
I have a book about it if you need help.
yeah. So going back to my what the boats I have broken down right now, I have Hemeth. Oh, I'm sorry. Hemeth was a Duragar that they picked up in Slobodope who was about to be killed, and perhaps set off this process which summoned Demogorgon. Not really clear what happened there. Hemeth is from Gracklstow. Sareth is the drow I mentioned. And also in that boat are Jaset and Dolphix. The other boat has Eldeth, Vic, Drazzle, Zaum, and Stool. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, day 12, and stop me if you'd like me to do anything. I am going to sort of hand wave over minor encounters, and just move to try to get us to Gracklstow a little bit faster. Day 12 turns into day 13, and you're able to find a rocky outcropping. So let's try this new mechanic if you guys don't mind. If you don't mind, everyone rolling a d20. This is something to try to NPCs dominate this module, and so we're trying to do a little bit better of party cohesion. So that would be Jason to Zal. And the mechanic is basically sort of campfire talk, trying to have characters prompt other characters.
So, Zom, you are very skilled in combat.
What?
Zom, yes, you're you're quite skilled in combat. Did you have some training, or is it all self-taught?
Let's take a pause. The light's still there, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it's it like, we'll put it this way: if you like the rock, like you can block the light with rock. Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah.
Like it looks like it's always in the distance, and so if you put something in front of your, like if you put your hand in front of your eye or someone else in front of your line of sight, you can't see it. But otherwise, yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so I say yes. I used to. Well, I used to, and you could see I'm like distracted by something in the distance while I'm trying to like focus on you. But it's like when you're talking to somebody, but the TV's on. So they're talking to you, but they're always looking at the TV, but they're still talking to you.
Yeah.
And he says, yes, well, I'm a Beta Knight from Boulder's Gate. So I I'm not a I used to be a worshiper of Palor, but I didn't really like that scene. And well, I got picked up by the Mennonites, that church, and I've been training with them and fighting with them and doing all sorts of type of duties.
So you weren't as much of a fighter before joining the Bananites.
Yeah, you could say so, I guess. It's it just wasn't the Church of Palor just wasn't for me. It just had too everybody was too, how do I say, put it, not good, but too like happy. And it was bull. It wasn't like true happiness. It was a forced a fake happiness, like a front. Yeah, I didn't particularly like that. That's how I view those members anyway.
I think I can see how that would wear thin.
Yes.
Um,
And
so as the night starts to fade, and for those conversations, I'm not excluding anyone. Anyone's allowed to jump in. Just I trying to push prompts on you guys, and so thanks. Um, the next morning, Stool, sort of you hear the Stool for the audience. Stool has a sport chat, and you wake up to Stool sort of crying in sport chat. He's activated it early before all of you were awake. And so those of you dreaming start to hear it in your dreams.
what is that incessant noise? Who is using the sport chat to cry? What is going? Not in my head. Who is that? I get up.
It's clearly Stool. And Zom, you get up, and Stool walks over to you, and he says, "Where's Shushnar?" Where's my friend?
Who's in the boat for this conversation?
You're on land at the moment. You found a place to dock for the night. So all of you are there.
Him not on boat?
We don't know where Shushnar is. We were separated when the attack occurred in town. We hope to find him again.
And he you hear crying again. And he's fairly inconsolable. He's taking this pretty hard. You see him sort of walk over to the edge of the water and sort of look out back from where you guys came.
Stool, are you looking for Shushnar?
He's my friend.
Well, he wanted to get home, and he got there. I'm sure he's with his friends and his neighbors.
He didn't say goodbye.
Yeah, it's a shame of that we didn't have time to properly say goodbye to one another. But, Shushnar, he's been through a lot. He knows how to take care of himself. He's a Kuotoa of very strong conviction. I'm sure, he's gonna show some leadership to him and his people.
He sort of kicks a stone into the water, and then sort of begrudgingly sits in the boat and is very, very quiet.
You have only one not here. The rest of us still here. Is good number. More here than not here.
No, he just doesn't respond.
So you got other friends waiting for you back home, just like Shushnar got home. We're gonna get you home too. At least that's the goal. And from what we understand from maybe someone in our destination here, the Scracklestow, might know a way to find your people, find your grove where you're from. Looking forward to that, aren't you?
He's just sort of hunkered down in the floorboards of the boat. Doesn't seem to be particularly excited.
Rick, I think it's you should give the child some time.
Needs a little
And-
space.
As we're walking away, I'll just say, children tend to be a lot more intelligent than we give them credit for. I'm sure Stool's well aware of what took place back there, and well, as we should prepare him for what could be coming next.
What do you think that is?
Well, for one, we are all running away from the captivity from the drow, and that's a reality we're all facing every day. And I think Stool is, while incredibly useful with his mental spores, feel we should equip him with more physical skills as well.
Quite frankly, I forgot about all those drow. I was thinking more about that big thing we saw back there.
Yes, that was the second point I was going to make. We have witnessed the unleashing of a demon lord, and indeed, it's something that may affect everyone under here and in the Underdark, Stool's people included.
Should rather expect so.
You guys set off, and the next few days, and please stop me if there's anything you'd like to do in the middle of it. The next few days are largely in the dark, and it's the water's relatively calm. You can't, from the echoes of the boat, you can't hear the ceiling above you. There are places where it's really narrow or really low. But both day 14 and day 15 start to see Hemeth take more of a really active role, as you hear him say, we can't go straight through here. We're going to have to go around. It's a little difficult to navigate, and I don't think that the other boat can handle it.
Why is it difficult to navigate? Rapids, rocks?
Yeah, some unusual water patterns in sometimes whirlpools, sometimes rapids. We can play it safe and just go around.
Safe, good. Let's go.
Good. So you guys push off, and you instead of you enter an area which most of you actually have to sit down in the boat. Like, you can't all stand. Those of you who are medium height, because the ceiling is so low. And I think at some point in the next day or so, you come to a part of the ceiling that is full of that Pharisees energy. It is just it's gorgeous. Like, it is one of the most beautiful things all of you have ever seen, because the way the energy sort of radiates from the rock, it's just it similar to the Northern Lights in our world, and so it's somewhat nice to look at. You last session you learned that it has some unusual properties, and the Society of Brilliance is specifically trying to figure out if I think they told you a little bit about their research, that they're trying to figure out if the Pharisees has anything to do with the demons. The patch of Pharisees that you're in, though, lasts a good over a day, and so you get to a place where it's not, I wouldn't call it land. You still have to sleep in the boats, but at least there's a place to tie up the boats so you can actually all take a rest. Or you guys can push on.
This fair, what is it called again? Pharisis?
Yeah, I can copy and paste it.
Is this like a stone that's glowing, or is it something growing on the stone?
No, it seems to be. It seems to be. It's normal stone like granite and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Patches of this seem to be imbued with energy, and so that it's very obvious because it glows when this happens. Sometimes in small amounts, sometimes in huge amounts. This is probably the biggest amount you guys have seen in one long stretch.
Is it possible for me to take like a blade or something and try to chip at it? Take a sample?
Absolutely. As you try to sort of pull a rock off, the piece you pull off does not seem to possess the same energy. Like it seems something innate in the greater mass.
Interesting.
Well, I, for one, am inclined to push on and risk being tired. And last time we rested near this, we had some ill effects and we lost Drazzle for a day and a half.
That would happen.
Yeah. I think you also learned last time that the Society of Brilliance pointed out that magic can be quite unpredictable around it. Just to remind you.
Can I cast like a minor illusion cantrip around it? Just to see if it does anything wonky.
You can.
All right. I'm gonna like cast a little illusion of a little spider with two clubs white.
Okay, let me just look one
Fireball centered on yourself.
thing. Look one thing up.
Yeah. Here's how Corey defines wonky.
Yeah, I want to know what wonky is defined as.
Our word kill.
Like, oh my god, we're all gonna die, or
The spider has 3 white gloves.
oh, yeah, or your nose turns purple.
Accidentally cast gate and summon a pit fiend.
Excellent. It can combat with the demon word.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it will murder us before it gets there.
Can you roll me a one d20?
Gladly.
That's the only one of the 20 things could go wrong.
5.
So yeah, you're able to conjure the illusion quite fine. No problem.
Very well. Making a mental note.
So did you decide to push on, or did you decide to stay still?
I think we're
I'd
gonna push on.
I'd vote to push on.
Push on.
So you're basically you can do sort of shift work where 2 of you are paddling while the other 2 are trying to rest in each of the boats. So it's not terrible to do this for a day. It might be terrible if you're doing it longer periods of time. But eventually you get to the end of where the Pharisis ends, and you see you immediately, as you cross that threshold, you hear the ceiling above you like open, like your echoes no longer are right above you. And so you enter in this this pretty seems to be huge chamber. You're not sure of the walls, but unlike the some of the other places, there are like columns that go up as far as you can see. They're natural. They're not anything like man-made. And so maybe I don't know, maybe every like 500 feet you can sort of see the edges of one of these as you're going. And Hemeth says, so somewhere around here is Nanny Pluck. I haven't seen her in years though.
Another one of your members from your society, or?
Oh, he's not in the society. Hemeth is just the Duragog.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Um,
sorry.
it was the Koato unit. He says uh, she lives on one of these little pillars.
Who lives here?
Nanny Pluck.
What is nanny pluck? Is like chicken pluck?
The person.
Good person. She have food. She cook.
She may. She sometimes is useful. Sometimes she's kind of a pain.
No, we don't know. You're gonna have to explain a little clearer.
I mean, it's a little weird to live out here in the middle of the lake, right? So some of the fishermen, they stay clear away from her. Others, she's taken in, and if they needed food or a place to rest for the night, she's given them that. So they swear by her. So I haven't seen her in years. Last time I did, she was offering me some ointments to try to fix up a old wound I had.
Ah, so it's healer. You have
a little bit of
stuff.
everything. Maybe like I don't know, like a medicine woman or I don't know, shaman.
Well, did you take her help? Did you take the ointment?
I did. It worked just fine. And
You
he
should-
shows you like a pretty nasty scar on his leg. That maybe like a clearly like 2-inch laceration down the side of his leg that he says gave him trouble and never healed properly, and now it's just a scar.
You have injury now?
Not. I mean, maybe sometimes when it gets real cold, but not often.
She have other thing? Food?
I haven't been there in years.
She must eat. She must have food.
If I, you may hear her. She usually calls out. She has pretty good hearing. So if anyone's around here, she'll let us know. The next few days are more of this chamber, this massive chamber with these columns. And as you move, I'm moving this up to day 18. As you move through it, the columns, you seem to be moving into an area where more of the columns have like fallen over, and so sometimes you can see columns completely sheared off. You can see that the columns have fallen into the water in front of you, and you've actually not really thought about how deep the water is below you, just because you wouldn't get in and swim. But you can see that some of these columns are, when they've fallen over, they're pointing out, so that it can't be that deep where you are currently, and it takes a while to move the boats around. You get to day 19, and day 19, you start to hear a song in the distance. Someone is singing, and Hemeth says, "That'll be her."
This nanny plucker.
What language are they singing? Is it
Um,
recognizable?
It doesn't seem to be a song as much as like humming or
Just a tune.
yeah. It doesn't seem to be anything. And it's coming roughly in the direction you're traveling from, but you could choose to avoid it if you want.
Well,
Hmm.
Ameth,
We never-
what do you think? Do we avoid it, or do we just carry on?
like I said, I've had good luck with her. Some of the other sailors swear that she cursed them. Now they can't fish, or their boat always gets ruined, and that they carry around her bad luck.
Well, I've learned in my brief time in the Underdark that I don't have any idea what anything is, so I will trust you.
He says, well, we could try to stop there for the night. We've been rowing for a few days now without a good place to stop.
If she sing, she's strong, because singer people hear, bad things can hear.
She's not worried about being heard.
So, is she strong? Maybe safe. I think we should go.
Maybe
What
she
would
can
you
just
say
kill
about
us
her?
that
She
much
seems like
easier.
she's quite been around a while. She might have some information about what's going on down here that could be helpful, and maybe she knows something about where Stool's from.
No. So you start to boat over, in that sort of following her voice, and you get to one of these, the side of one of these pillars that has been sheared off, and it's maybe like you see 50 feet above the surface of the water, but on the side has been carved out. It looks like almost like a boat dock. It's a sort of almost like a cave on the side of the column, and leading from the cave are stairs that seem to spiral around up to the top of the column. As Hemeth pulls the boat into the cave, you hear from up above. You hear, "Oh, I wasn't expecting visitors. Please come up."
Okay.
And she speaks common.
She is speaking common.
Okay.
I think that was the first time someone said please to us since we've been down here.
It's true.
I can't recall.
You are you starting? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the stairs are carved, like they're carved, not maybe with perfect skill, but they're carved out of the pillar. They're not perfectly even. Sometimes you see like fungus growing on them, or bat guano, or just like they're not used very much. As you sort of fully circle the column, so you're like, when you get to the top of the column, you're right above where your boat is. The boats are, and you see, it's actually it's just lots of very small mushrooms all around, and in the middle of the column you see looks like a pool of water, and then on the far end you see what looks like a rough stone hut. And emerging from the doorway is an older woman, and she says, "Well, hello."
Is it lit?
Some of the mushrooms would be like,
Okay.
there's some sort of phosphorescent. She says, I wasn't expecting visitors. Who might you be?" She sees Hemet. She's like, "How is the leg, young man?" And he says, very good, nanny pluck. Thank you again." She says, it's so good that I could take away a misfortune from you. What brings you back here? Who are your friends?
Be Drazzle.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Vic Valentine. Nice to meet you.
I'm Jasa.
Oh, and I'm Dolphix. Pleasure to meet you, madam.
Hey, and what brings you to my home?
Oh, boat bring us to home. We
We're
was on two
traveling
boats.
across the lake, and Hamith thought it might be a safe place to have a rest before we travel on further.
Well, if you come in peace, you'll have no problem here.
We come in
Uh,
boat.
You're more than welcome to rest, and I'll find something to prepare for food if you need it. I imagine living on fish for the last few days, you might like something different.
Yes, I certainly would, but don't trouble yourself.
Oh, I
Sure.
like.
Sure, I can whip something up. And you see her now. As she's up, she's dressed in pretty drab clothes, but you do see around her neck she wears a number of um, necklaces. One of which seems to be animal bones of some kind threaded through. Another seems to be small vials, maybe attached to it, and they jingle like it's really obvious. Not like you just hear them clacking against each other as she walks around, and she relatively spry for an old woman, and she moves through quite with ease, and you see on the side of the hut there's seems to be like a little kitchen area. So she's walking over there, and you see her pick some mushrooms as she gets there, and yeah.
She need help. I just try to follow her around to see if I can help her out.
And she turns back and she says, now, dear, like make yourself, please rest. I can take care of this. I've been here long enough.
You want me to try something new out? I try out new food if you want.
She's like, don't you worry your head. Why don't you go over and talk to your friends? I would love to hear a story. I don't hear enough stories these days.
Oh, Vic got story. Great story about how family betray him and throw him to side.
It's quite a bit of despair, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, go with your friends. I'll take care of this now. What are the rest of you doing?
Appreciating being able to see things,
Okay.
and sort of walking around the little garden and looking at stuff.
Okay. Make me a quick perception check.
Okay.
So probably the biggest thing that, like, the little pond in the middle. You lean over to sort of see if it might be fresh water, and in fact it is. It looks like it's spring fed. But your eyes look down, and on the bottom of the pond there seems to be quite a few bones.
Of what sort?
Looks like all sizes. There's definitely humanoid bones down there.
Okay.
Without, like, you'd have to get closer, but there's definitely, like, you see femurs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
How about the rest of you? Are you up to anything, or are you just relaxing?
I'm gonna also politely look around, with interest, but I'm not gonna be touching anything. It's her stuff.
Okay. Yeah, just make me a quick perception check as well. So you wander over near her hut, and you, like, there's not really a closed door, like a door. There's a doorway. And you look into it, and it's pretty sparsely. You see a bed, sort of rock with some looks like she made some sort of bedding out of mushrooms. It's not clear what it is. You see a couple pouches around the bed, and you see just shelves upon shelves of small jars of you can't see what the substance is inside. Vic or Drazzle, are you up to anything else?
No, she told me to sit down, so I'm just sitting there and cleaning my bowl out, applying the light spell to just the top of my head instead of my bowl. Just waiting.
Vic will be. I'll go over to Sereth and start to talk to him a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll say, Sereth, have you ever heard of this Nanny Pluck before? Is that a name you're familiar with?
And he says, "No, but I haven't traveled to Darklake before either." And you see you see him occasionally touch that bald spot in his head as he's talking to you. He's not scratching at it. He just like sort of absentmindedly touches it.
Hey, Sereth, I know you're kind of sensitive about that sore you got there, but you know this Nanny Pluck is supposed to be something of a healer. She helped Hemeth out. Maybe she'll take a look at that for you.
And he's like, "No, I will wait till people I trust. I don't know who this woman is, or this reeks of foulness here."
Well, you know,
I
Sereth.
if I were alone, I would not stop here by myself.
Well, look, we've been around together for a while here now. It's hard to say when you're gonna have a chance to have someone you trust look at it. You might not make it that long.
I'll be fine, thanks. And he seems pretty, yeah, he's pretty adamant about that. And he quickly changes the subject, and he says, "Did you have a question for me?"
I wanted to see, you know, well, you kind of answered the question I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you how you feel about all this, but staying here, you wouldn't have came here.
If I were alone, no, I wouldn't trust. There's power in numbers, right? But if we stay here a day, I have no problem with that. But we should not linger any longer. Please.
Let me ask you this. You're just kind of slow to trust. That's understandable. You've been through a lot. But we've been together. We've been surviving together. Do you trust any of us?
And he looks at you and he says, when all of this is over and we go our separate ways, I doubt our paths will cross again.
I give you something. You trust me. You die, I will eat you. Trust me. This will happen.
I believe that.
He just sort of is disgusted by the possibility. Like
I extend my hand to shake. Deal? We have deal on this.
He wants something to do with it. He does not extend his hand.
No worry. I see it in your eyes. You know.
You smell fire or smoke, and you can see that she's lit a small fire over there, and she is cooking something up in a big pot. And Eldeth particularly is excited because it does smell like meat. And she is there anything you guys want to do? It's probably like 10 or so minutes before dinner is ready.
I walk closer and ask, what's in stew?
Just the animals that come and try to kill me. I make use of.
Which ones? Maybe we can kill them, eat them after we leave.
Sometimes the things that live on the ceiling, they'll come down, the cloakers or the bats.
Mm.
Sometimes I go down and fish, although my knees, it's a long way down those stairs. And sometimes other things come to me. And I do whatever I can.
You have herbs to preserve meat?
Um, I, I do some salt, and I do sometimes I um, prepare it other ways.
Hmm.
You Drazzle, you look in the bowl, and it does look a little baddish. Whatever she's cooking looks like there's a sort of a wing sticking out.
Okay.
Um, she finished cooking the meal and comes back over, and she brings you all a small bowl, stone bowl that's carved out, and she sits down on a stoop around you, and she's like, "So tell me, what sort of misfortunes have brought you here?"
Mm. I was hit on head and woke up here. Then we was in jail. We break out of jail. Then on boat. Now here.
I see.
It's kind of the short form of all of our stories, more or less.
And what she seems kind she's sort of at a loss for words. And so she looks down at her stew and that in her bowl, and she sort of politely eats some, and she looks back and says, "I see you have one of the awakened uh, fungus here," and she points at stool.
Yeah, this one's one of our companions. We're all a long way from home. This one, well, we're gonna try to get him home. He says he's from some kind of grove of his people. Have you heard of such a place nearby? We heard there might be one near Gracklstow.
The path, the routes north of Gracklstow, there's many such. She tells you a little bit about the giant fungus shelf that's off to the east of the Darklake, and I don't even know if I could pronounce the name, even if I remember it. Aramycion. And she tells you there's a giant fungus in the Underdark. That's one living organism, and it is in fact the biggest organism in the whole world. And so it's not common for mushroom groves, to be near that fungus. And so up on the other side of the Darklake, there's quite a few of them. And she sort of maybe not let slip, but she says, sprouts like that are quite useful and quite sought after. An awakened sprout.
For what? Food?
All sorts of things. Surprised. Who would you be willing to trade him?
Him person. We know not thing.
Right, but I'll take care of him.
But we know trade people.
She lets out a sigh and she starts digging at her soup again.
Well, do you know of the Koatoa village? Not so far from here, a couple of days travel from here. Sloopadoop.
I've heard of it. I've never been there myself. I've been here an awful long time.
You seem keen to hear about misfortunes. The misfortune that befell Slobodok might be interesting.
What such misfortune?
Well, it's gone.
Like it disappeared?
Or I imagine it's gone. No, it was destroyed by a hulking behemoth of a creature that appeared in the lake.
Demon.
I thought I felt a tremor recently. Perhaps that was it. And the villagers, did they escape?
I do not expect so.
Not in the state we left them in.
Interesting. She says, she asks for details more about exactly where the village is. And Hemeth is it Rose. He sort of speaks up and explains it. And she says, "Well, that is very interesting news indeed. I'll have to think on it and think what to do about it." And she says, "Is there anything you'll need for your journey?" I do have some elixirs. Hemeth probably told you.
We've come in contact with this Fariz a few times, and it's caused a few of us to see things that the others can't. Do you know any way around that? Any kind of elixirs or antidotes for helping us keep our grip on reality?
She says, "Well, first I would caution you that perhaps whatever the Pharisees is doing to you, perhaps it's opening your eyes, not tricking you. So maybe you're being enlightened and not deceived. But if you wish to remove it, clerics probably have the priests of various gods through their prayers can remove it. It's powerful though. Not likely to be in the hands of just any cleric.
You mean to remove the effect once someone has fallen under its sway?
Indeed. If what you're describing is madness of some kind, although, why do you say Pharisees is causing this madness?
It just seems to occur when in the presence of it.
Intriguing. That is, I have no such Pharisees around here, because it would interfere with my work. And she seems a little scatterbrained. Like she seems like, maybe on one hand that she's choosing her words really, really carefully, but on the other hand, she just seems like her mind is somewhere else completely. And she says, she says, I just don't know. The Pharisees is not, I've not recorded any or learned or heard stories of Pharisees causing madness. That would be quite unusual.
You know, you make mention of your work. I'm kind of curious about that. What is your work? We understand you're kind of very powerful. You're not just out here surviving, right? You're you're a healer. You're, from what Hema says, you're quite capable with magics and healing and things like that.
She says, "Well, I would not call myself a magician of any sort. I study the ways of nature of some maybe old magics, but mostly I tend my work is just tending to hear." And she sort of stretches her arms out, and once again, sort of it is quite an unusual garden. You can tell it's tended well. And she says, "It's not for an old woman like me. It's not very easy."
Or what is she? Is she humanoid? What is her?
Humanoid. If you look at her, she looks vaguely human, although she has like it's like her skin is the wrong tone. It's almost grayish.
Nanny, where are you from? You up top, or are you from down here?
I've I've been here a long time. I hardly remember where I came from.
Well, one time was up top, maybe.
Perhaps.
Why here alone? Why no family, friends?
I don't really need anyone else here. I do have my sisters though. They occasionally visit.
Oh. They live. They Nanny cluck like you. Or they live some with family.
They live like I do.
They
Occasionally,
have their own gardens.
um, of sorts. And she sorry, let me get her sister's names real quick. Maven, Delve, and Dame Spiderwort. It says Maven prefers to live under the water itself and make her garden there. And my strange sister Spiderwort, well, she prefers to live amongst the spiders, up in their webs.
Does she wear a white glove?
I have not seen her wear a white glove, but perhaps she is not a spider. You guys are finishing your meal, and it's actually pretty good. It's definitely different than what you've eaten, but it seems to have a lot of sustenance to it. She starts to get up and collect the bowls. She says, will you be spending the night here?"
If it's not a bother.
"No, not at all. Please make yourself comfortable. I have some work to do to just clean and whatnot. But if you need anything, just give a holler." And she starts to waddle over to the hut.
Corey, at some point, like not immediately, but at some point when I can break away from the group, I'd like to go and kind of talk to her individually.
Okay. I'll get to that. Actually, no. In a second. Is there anything else people want to do?
No.
Specifically, are you just relaxing and enjoying the relative calm?
I'm looking for something I can craft into a filling for my net bag and use as a pillow.
Yeah. The particularly the barrel stocks, which are the ones filled with water, they're like almost like little water bed pillows. You Vic, you wander over to her, and she looks at you and says, "Yes, dear. How may I help you?"
Well, I got a question for you, and I don't know. It's a little bit of a sensitive nature. You see our drow friend over there?
Yes.
And did you notice he has a little something going on, a little something he's been scratching at? I don't know if you got a good look at that, but it's been bothering him something horrible. And he's just being a real stinker. I've been trying to encourage him to get some help for it, and he's just not being very obstinate about. He wouldn't. I was trying to convince him, maybe have you take a look at it, but I don't even know what it is.
And she looks over at him, and you see sort of she leans over and she squints a bit, staring at him.
Oh, don't make it too obvious, though. He'll get
And
suspicious.
she says, I'll tell you what. I will only heal someone who wants to be healed. And looking at him and looking at what that is, I do not believe he wishes to be healed.
What is it? Do you know?
And she smiles and says, I do. But I think it's best you find out when the time is right. She chuckles to herself and starts to watch the pool.
Okay.
She's like, don't worry.
It's a good thing? It's going to be a good surprise, right?
She's like, it's so relative. Good surprise, bad surprise. Who am I to say how you'll find it? She definitely is smiling.
Like, what kind of feeling do I get of this smile? Is there like is it menacing? Is it
Genuinely happy
okay?
by the smile? Yeah. It was similar to a smile. Well, she didn't have a big smile when you talked about Slobodope, but she did. She had a smile similar to when you talked about Slobodope, about what like a researcher might have when you'd be like, oh, an interesting fact.
Okay.
Right? But now she seems like genuinely happy that you pointed this out.
I'll return back to the group, and at some point, I'm gonna want to share some of this with the rest of the party. This conversation.
Yeah, you see her. Like I said, just going around. She's cleaning some stuff up. You see her go collect some mushrooms and herbs from around the rock. She's just like getting things ready.
I think at some point after, maybe she's kind of busy, preoccupied, I'd probably go to Jasa.
Okay.
And say, Jasa, I just had a kind of weird conversation with that nanny Pluck over there.
I don't doubt it.
I've been getting kind of concerned about Sereth and what's going on with his scalp, and he hasn't been so eager to get help. I thought maybe she could tell us something about what it is, at least. Maybe we could try to encourage him to get some treatment. And she just said, we'll find out in time, and it's best for us to find out when it happens. And then she got kind of gleeful.
She's particularly inclined to hear about misfortune.
Yeah, that's
she
what
uses
I'm
that
concerned
word
about.
repeatedly. I think she is looking forward to something that she would consider unfortunate.
She was pretty keen on talking about stool there too. I think we better, when we take our watches tonight, keep him real close.
Yes, particularly since he's not too keen to stay close.
is there anything else you guys are gonna do today?
Taking my rest on land, full belly.
I assume you guys are taking watches.
Yes.
Make me. Can all four of you make me a perception check real quick? So, Chase, you see at one point in the hut. It's sort of middle of the night, and you're sitting there, and you can see through the glow of the mushrooms, in the hut, and you see a very young woman standing in the hut. It's only for like maybe 10 seconds. And then she disappears out of line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Just pops up. Are you doing anything, or just sort of watching?
I'll watch, but do I feel like if I got a little closer, I might be able to see better? Is there a better angle?
Yeah, you could. I mean, you could approach the hut. It's not like absolutely. It's you. There's not too much to sneak around, but you certainly could try to sneak around. There's not like big rocks that you can sort of.
Sure, I will try to stealthily approach, but I feel like Jace is good enough at that she has some concept of if I can't hide, I can't hide.
Mhm.
And she's not going to approach beyond where she doesn't feel like she can stay out of sight.
Okay. Make me a quick stealth check. Yeah, so you sort of like walk the perimeter, right? You're taking like almost like rounds, and you try to find a place where you can actually see into where you thought she walked in the hut, and you do. You see this. She is looks humanoid, human or possibly elven, and she has very, very long blonde hair. It's so long that it's tied up. I'm sorry, it's held together, but the length of her hair is just on the ground behind her. And she is going through those jars that were on the wall, and you see her picking them up and sort of looking at them and sort of going through them one by one, then placing them back on the shelf.
Is Nanny Pluck there?
You don't see any Pluck, but you also can't see the entire hut. Like
Yeah. Okay.
at the moment.
I'm gonna go back to my seat.
Okay. You wander back. Your shift ends without any other thing, unless you want to do something.
Nope. Oh.
Vic, you, as you sit there, you start to hear music again.
Is humming again, or
No, it's similar to the music you heard last time, which was, what did we say was? You heard the last session.
I don't remember if it was was it a flute? Flute?
Yeah, you heard an instrument, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was a flute too. I didn't write it down. So, but now it's a few more instruments, and you swear that you hear sort of like you swear that you hear crockery. Like you hear, your best guess is like someone moving plates around on top of each other, like someone washing dishes or something. In the distance, it's just not coming from the hut.
Huh. That's a weird way to get some percussion in there. What is Stool like asleep? I
Yeah, he's
assume I probably have him like kind of close by.
Yep.
I'm going to like, do I have like a? Can I gauge like kind of distance, like how far away I think this is, or
It's
does it
so
feel
it's
more like a phantom kind of like sound on the air?
it's like a phantom sound. You do have a direction, but you don't. It's sort of like it's off in the distance, like it's off the pillar completely.
Okay. I'm not really keen to like leave my post here and like follow that, but I'll probably just like pull out. I don't know if I've got like some. I don't know. I'll just like pull out like a dagger, and I'm just gonna like kind of like inscribe on the stone work like near me like some of the notes of what I'm hearing.
Okay.
If there's any kind of like pattern to it, I'm just gonna
Okay.
try to document that kind of for myself, occupy myself during my watch shift.
Okay. For you, Drazzle, your shift comes and goes. It's not very exciting. But Dolphix, you probably have sort of the middle of the night shift. And you see Nanny Pluck come out of the hut. And she starts to walk towards you. But you see she's not actually, she's walking towards the pond. And she is wearing an unusual robe. It is glimmering in like almost like silvery thread.
Okay. At my vantage point, can I like see everything she's doing, or do I need to get
Yeah,
closer?
yeah, more. It's pretty flat, like it's pretty obvious. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just kind of discreetly observe.
Okay. So you see her. She seems. I mean, your best inclination is she seems to be doing some sort of ritual. So she has a bowl. She picks up water from the bowl, and you see her sort of pour it in areas around the pond, and you start to hear her chanting, and you don't understand the language. It's not very loud, but it's not a language you necessarily understand.
Would it be a language that I have heard before while down here?
Make no, in fact, like it sounds more like a language you would know from up above, particularly from your backstory.
Okay.
Like it is more of like, it seems like it might be words of power or like that sort of thing. It's not a very long ritual, maybe like 2-3 minutes, but you do see the surface. You at the very end, you see her take one of those jars out, and you're too far away to see exactly what she does with it. But she takes one of those jars that were on the shelves inside, and you see a slight glimmer on the surface of the water, and she is just staring down at it.
I'm gonna try to get closer.
Okay.
See if I can see what she's up to.
Okay. You don't really have a problem getting closer. As you step up, you can see there seems to be some sort of illusion on like, or some sort of image on top of the surface of the water. It is not a place you recognize. but it's of a place. And as you watch, there is some movement, like it's an animated picture, and things start to get focused in. And as the picture sort of seems to focus on um, on how do I want to do this? Hold on, sorry. I thought of a better idea just for a second, but I don't know if I want to give me. Yes, you seem to see a man at the docks of a town. The man seems to be dwarvish, probably Duragar. And you see another man come up to him with a pickaxe and swing the pickaxe at the back of his head. And the back of his head explodes. Not explodes, but
Yeah.
pickaxe and that explodes. And right at that second, Nanny Pluck notices that you're there, and she's like, "Oh!" And the image disappears.
Pardon me, madam. As curiosity got the better of me. But I couldn't help but see the image you were looking at. Was this some sort of scrying spell I've been hearing about, or I myself am a novice at the arts. I'm learning what I can.
She says, "Of a sort. This is an older magic. But yes, it does let me see things that happen afar."
Oh, and that poor unfortunate soul in there that had his brains blown out. Was that someone you knew?
Oh, no. It is just a story I once heard. Nothing to be concerned about. And she make me a perception check really quick. Where's my...
9.
She sort of smiles faintly and says, "Well, I've finished my work for the night. I wish you the best." And she turns around. She starts to head back to the cabin.
Good night. I'm gonna watch her when she goes back into her cabin. Can I look in the water, try to see if tell what she did to it, or if anything?
Yeah, no. As far you pretty sure, sort of short of being able to recite the words that she said, you're pretty sure you saw most of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pouring water around this thing, doing something with the jars, and then using these words of power. Maybe dressing up was important too. I think that's as a sort of novice in the field of magic. That's what you picked up on the ritual aspect of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just go back and finish my my watch.
The rest of the night passes without event. You wake up, you all get the benefit of a long rest. You wake up, and she is up and about a short time after you guys are.
Is there breakfast?
She says, "I'm afraid only the mushrooms for now. I don't have anything prepared." She says, I do have some of these, though. Perhaps you have something you wish to trade for it." And she shows you 3 potions, 3 elixirs. She says, "This is a potion of healing. One's a potion of healing. One is a potion of animal friendship, And the third is, oh, 1 second. I don't know if it's a potion of water breathing.
Just giving them all to us.
She's willing to trade them.
Ah. Well, there's not much we have to offer.
I have a spear or net.
I have a scepter that we received from the Kuotoa.
She says, perhaps you do have something I could have. And she says, can I have one of your tears?
That's an odd request. What will you do with it?
It's just useful in some of my magics.
Magic similar to what I saw you doing last night?
Yes, of a sort. And you do see she has pulled out of her pocket a jar that looks a lot like the jars on your shelves. And she says, I'll give you for 1 potion for a tear.
Yeah, I wish I could, but you know, I'm not really the crying type. I usually make others cry with my performances, and so I have trained myself in the art of being very much protected from all of my emotions. So I have to decline that request.
Surely a performer of your caliber could cry on command.
I can give crocodile tears.
Jasa, help.
Broken glass in the palms. She says, oh, very well. And she starts to slide the potion back.
Would spit work? I can saliva.
I'm afraid it's tears. And she turns to you, Dolphix, and says, I have noted your interest in my magics. I do have one small gift that I'm willing to give to you. And she hands you, it looks like a vase, right? But it's only this big. And she says, oh, can I say this word? 1 second. She says, this here, this is my lacrimatory. Or it's one of my lacrimatories. Tears. Mostly used to collect tears. And she says, if you take this, and if you collect your tears when you're able, you can pour that tear onto one of your fallen companions, and they will be revived.
Oh, and it must be fueled with my tears?
Indeed.
This is a very kind and powerful gift, if not also somewhat...
You are in a very dangerous place.
Indeed.
Magic is old, and perhaps you'll find some use of it and learn from it.
I'm humbled. Thank you.
So she hands it over. I'll write it, and I didn't write it in D&D Beyond, but here it is in with picture.
Hag. Yeah.
So she she wanders back into her hut, and you guys are free to go.
Okay, back to boat.
Unless there's something else you'd like to do.
Boat sounds good.
Huh?
Underway.
Okay. So the next few days, more of the same. You do manage to get lost at some point, to the point where Hemeth is spending most of the day cursing. And so now we're up to about the 24th day since you escaped the drought prison. And you are able to, now that you know there's bats in the area and there's, these things like that, you're able to try to figure out ways to catch them. And so you're able to like make a little bit more food than just the random fish and mushrooms you've been able to, having learned that from Nanny Pluck. And you come into, on both sides of you, you can see land sticking out. And both sides have, the reason you can see land is because there's some bioluminescent fungus on sort of the shoreline. And you can tell you might be going into a little bit of a shallow area between two, these two pieces of land. When suddenly you hear the splash of water in front of you.
We hear a splash of water behind us.
In front of you, in the direction you are going, between the two patches of land.
As we hear it, can we take a peek to see if we can see if there's something that's diving down into the water?
See anything?
Check real quick. Am I missing it?
What did you ask us to do?
A perception check? Sorry.
Oh, I missed that part.
I might have cut that. Okay. Vic Drazel, you look to the surface of the water, and it is dark, like really, really dark, to the point where like it just looks like you're looking into black, like tar. So you see nothing. Jasa,
I'm gonna close my eyes and listen.
Right. You hear the sound of a paddle in front of you. That's the splash. It is likely another boat.
There's, and previously I had listened when we met the researcher to see if I could hear a number of paddles. Can I determine that?
Maybe two.
There's another boat, possibly two paddles up ahead of us.
Corey, there's kind of no way around this, right? Like we're kind of being funneled in between these two.
You are at the moment. If you want to try to turn around and go out the other way, you can.
No. Forward. The way is forward.
Let's hope it's just another two members of the Society of Brilliance. And we can move on.
Since it seems like there's going to be some kind of meeting one way or another, I'll pull out my flute and try to reproduce that song that I heard the previous night.
The song while you were on watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
That flute song.
You start to play that song, and Jasa, you you hear like hushed conversation
Okay.
in front of you, and it's maybe I don't know, it's maybe 100 feet off.
Okay. And it's is it in a language I can understand?
No, but you're pretty sure it's undercommon.
Okay.
Just
Well, they
because you've heard it
certainly
enough.
heard you.
Maybe they're fisher people. This is a song I heard last night in Nanny Pluck's cavern there. If they associate this with her, maybe.
I believe they're speaking the language that the drow spoke.
Can Sarth tell what they're saying?
Sarth can't hear them. Like it's the perception check that I'm going off of. Actually, I'll make a check for him, other than narrating that. Why can't I? Oh, he does have. Oh, perception. Yeah, he just isn't here. Let's see. Can you see those rolls now? By the way.
Yes.
Are you guys doing anything?
I'd maybe suggest we slow the boat down for just a second and see if we can hear what they're doing in reaction to the flute song.
Sure. They, like, it's obvious to you they definitely heard it. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, so the boat that has Vic, Drazzle, Zaum, Stool, and Eldeth, you see a bolt of light fly. Sorry. One second. I will get my crap together. You see a bolt of light fly. Come on. Sorry. Really sorry. At your boat. And it hits the side of your boat, causing 12 radiant damage to the side of the boat. And I need all of you to roll initiative.
Is there a map?
Sorry, I'll move you on the map before you roll initiative. If you already rolled initiative, it's too late.
I'll re-roll it.
No, I can see it. You just can't.
It's too bad. I'd like to re-roll it. It was pretty poor.
Roll. All this dynamic lighting.
All right, is everyone on there?
What's easiest? Do you want me to re-roll it and then you modify, or
No, I actually can see it because I was on the map. You guys just can't see it. It's very weird.
all right?
So I see you have a 9.16 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just let you know.
Okay.
Sorry, like that's a roll 20 for it.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Okay, so you for those of you who can't see where this is, the guiding bolt came from up here. If you can see where I'm highlighting. Yes. And now you distinctly hear the sound of drow. And you hear one of them, like Sareth is saying, they're paddling towards us. It's the drow. We have to get out of here.
We hear them say that they
Sareth,
think
Sareth, they are now, like, after they revealed that they're, like, by shooting the boat, they are not hiding anymore. So You hear the sound of paddling towards you. There's that. Drezel, you are next.
I'm going to cast Bless upon those members inside my boat.
Okay.
And that'll give them all a little bit. So I'm just going to reach out, say Sunshine, and tap on the shoulders of Vic, Zelm, and Eldeth.
Okay. I'm not gonna have Zom fight
That's
just
fine.
so like you narrate him out of okay. Anything else, Drezel?
No, that was it. And then I'm just going to kind of, I don't know what's going on. I know we got hit, but I don't really grasp why.
Okay. You see another guiding bolt go at your boat again. Why is this not hitting? Oh, that totally misses. Dolphix.
Can I paddle the boat?
You can, or you can just tell Sareth and Hemeth to do it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna direct them to paddle the boat a little closer so we can actually see where they are.
Okay.
But like not
I realized
straight
that.
at them, kind of in an arc.
Yep, I realized I didn't roll initiative for those guys. So let me do that real quick. Yeah, Hemeth would have done it before, since his turn was both Hemeth and Sareth's. So they got up here.
Still can't see them. Okay.
Can you see or no? Oops.
We're all in the water. I'll switch to. Oh, I can see someone on the edge. Can I?
Yeah, you can see their boat and one of the drow with the hand crossbow pointed at you.
Okay, can I take out my short bow and arrow and attempt to shoot it?
Yep.
All right.
That hits.
20.
Okay.
6.
You hear a cry of pain as it flies into this.
And then I'm gonna drop prone in the boat.
Okay. Jason.
I can't see anything at all.
Okay.
So I'm going to. I saw where Dolphix, the direction of Dolphix shot, and I heard that. So I'm going to take a shot with disadvantage in that direction with my short bow.
Okay. That hit? No, that misses.
Okay.
You hear it flop into the water. Vic. You might be muted.
No, I just can't see. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pop a bardic inspiration. Oh no, I guess I can see them now. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I forgot to put Eldeth in, and so Eldeth and Zaum are going to move your boat,
Okay.
and as you guys command them, and I just forgot to put their turns.
I would like to cast. I just have to look up range. Yes, Cloud of Daggers, right here.
Okay. What does that do?
Basically at the start of their turn, so it's a 5-foot cube.
Okay.
Creature takes 4d4 slashing damage when it enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
And put it in here.
And then I'm gonna give. Drazzle, or no, I'll give Dolphix a point of bardic inspiration. So it's a D6.
Okay.
You can use that to boost In addition to the normal bardic inspiration things, you can use it on damage or to boost your AC on a weapon attack.
Cool.
You see, so now all of you who actually have the sight over to see them, you recognize these three drow. They were your captors. The one who's guiding bolt you is that junior priestess who was there, Asha. There's one of the heavier built, like the lieutenants, not one of the really important ones, but just one of the lieutenants. And then there's one of the common guards who is out in front. The lieutenant stands up, and he's going to go for Eldeth. He hits Eldeth. She takes 10 piercing. And she has to make a Constitution saving throw. So you see her just start to vomit uncontrollably off the side of the boat. This drow's turn. Oops, sorry, he got. Oh no, that's it. This drow is going to move the boat a little closer with all of them on it.
Is that the one?
Oh wait, so it's this drow's turn. Yeah. So what is he going to do? At the beginning?
Takes... So
Is there any
7 points.
Save?
No,
Is there any save for that?
There's no save.
Just whenever they start their turn or move into it.
So that takes him out. He's dead. So the boat does not move. You see Asha those of you who can see, take a step off the boat, and she is walking on top of the water. She you see you see a giant 3-pronged whip appear in the air here, and it goes to attack you. Sorry, that was for Vic.
Yes, that'll hit.
You take 6 force damage.
All right. I gotta make a concentration check here, quick. Okay, maintain concentration.
And then she goes for Eldeth.
Well, Cloud of Daggers probably ought to be doing that damage to the boat too.
It
Yeah,
says creature.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping for that too. I looked specifically for that verbiage.
I'm fine with it doing it to the boat though, because I think guiding bolt is also creature.
It is.
Yeah, so it'll do that to the boat as well. So I'm drawing little orange squares everywhere.
Do you want me to roll that?
I just use the same one, so it's the same.
Okay.
Sorry. Asha is Sacred Flaming, Eldeth. Eldeth is, what's this? Dexterity. Ooh, you see Eldeth collapse on her boat. She's gonna have to make a death saving throw.
We don't want to use those tears that soon.
There are no tears in it at the moment.
Or did you miss my turn that round?
I sure did.
I'm not on the chart anywhere.
I did, Drazel. You're on the chart. You were right after the first drought. I apologize.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if something had changed. We can resolve Eldeth.
Eldeth has one pass. Yeah, it's your turn now.
Okay. I'm going to. Can I see her? She stepped out to where she can be seen.
Do you have dark vision?
Well, I can. Like this is her. Right here, right?
Right. So you have light on your head, right?
Yeah.
So that's 20/40. So she's in dim light.
Okay. So but I can see her then.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to try to hit her with Scorching Ray.
Okay.
Which is a ranged spell attack on each ray. I'm not certain how that works out.
You'll have to roll 3 attacks.
Yeah, it just seemed to.
So you'll just have to hit the button 3 times.
Okay, and then reset my slots, I guess.
That one hits. 9 fire. 4 fire. Okay, you hit twice. Anything else?
No, that's really about what I've got.
Now going back to it's Sareth's turn. I think they're going to try to move the boat a little closer.
Oh, the first one that, by the way, that we missed, the 9.
Uh-huh.
I had the bless since I couldn't put it on Zom. I could have put it on myself. D4
Okay.
added to that. I don't know if it would have made a difference.
Roll it. Nope. It misses.
Okay.
Dolphix.
All right, I'll get back up and then I'm gonna try to fire at what's her name? The one who's casting their spells. Asha?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Cha. And that's a dagger. That's not what I wanted.
Flaps into the water.
That also drops in the water. And then I'll drop back in down the boat.
Jason.
And I can see Asha now, so I'm going to drop into the boat on cunning action and move up kind of behind Sareth and cunning action hide.
Okay.
And then pop out and shoot her with the bow at advantage and still probably not do well.
Unfortunately, misses.
And then I will also drop prone in the boat.
Okay. Vic.
I am gonna cast Vicious Mockery at this one.
Okay. Asha. So wisdom. She makes it.
And then I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to Jaisa.
Okay.
And I'm gonna mimic this tactic that I see my party mates doing and drop prone in the boat.
Okay. She Oh, it's not. I don't think it's.
Oh
her
wait,
turn.
you know what? That's a spiritual weapon right next to me. I'm not gonna do that.
Yep.
Knowing that thing's swinging at me.
Okay. It's this guy's turn. He went for Eldith last time. Yeah, he's gonna go for Sareth this time. He takes hand crossbow, misses Sareth though. Drezel, it's your turn.
Are my daggers still messing up his boat?
Yes. Please roll. All right. Drezel.
gonna try and bong bong toll the dead on her. And she's already missing some hit points.
Okay, takes 8 points. Anything else?
No.
She she's gonna be this evil. She might be. She is going to do. How did she want to do this? Okay. You see her pray to Loth and touch herself, and she's surrounded by some light. She is then going to use her bonus action to go after you, Vic, again. Spiritual weapon. That probably misses.
Mm-hmm.
Eldeth's turn. She death saving throw. Pass. Sareth. Sareth. Yeah, Sareth has a hand crossbow. He's going to go for the Drow warrior. Miss. Hemeth. Hemeth has javelins, I think. Yep. Miss. Dolphix.
Okay. I'll get back up and attempt to do the same thing and try to hit Asha.
Okay.
It's 24.
That's good.
Yep, that's
8.
Okay.
And I'll drop again.
okay. Jason.
Will cunning action stealth and then pop up and do the same thing at advantage.
That hits.
And that will do 19 damage with sneak attack.
Okay. She's looking pretty bad.
Drop back
anything else?
down.
Okay. Vic.
All right. First thing to do before I forget, healing word on Eldeth.
Okay. She's at 4.
And then I'm gonna do vicious mockery again at her. This one here.
Okay.
Is the boat still moving towards her?
No.
Because you needed 2 people to do that.
No, you could use one, but everyone else is just attacking. And Eldeth fell. Sorry. Fails. So 4. Drow warrior is going to go for Sarah. Crossbow hits Sarah. Sareth is immune to drow poison. Drazzle.
All right. Since the boat's no longer moving, I'm still at a far enough range away that I don't have a lot of good options. So I'm gonna just try it again with Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Low roll, low roll.
Anything else?
No.
You see her on character sheet. You see her come closer to you.
Okay. She tries to attack me. I'm just going to kick up a warding flare.
And you see her do this. Okay. That's her turn. Eldeth is going to have to, she's in that. Eldeth is going to make a wisdom saving throw. She makes it, so she only takes 7 points of damage. Eldeth is down again. Sarah, screams out, shoot for the priest. So Sareth fires his crossbow at her, misses. Hemeth tries to throw a javelin at her, misses. Dolphix.
Okay. Let's see here. Dolphix is. What's he gonna do? He's gonna look. It's like, all right, we're right. And he's gonna cast magic missile at Asha.
Okay. She's gonna make 3 Constitution checks real quick. So she drops it. I forgot to do her bonus action last time, but too late.
So do I roll 1d4 plus 1 for each one?
Yeah, just the second 2.
Okay.
Okay, 2 and Jason.
I will do cunning action to hide again.
Okay.
I don't know if this one is going to be an advantage.
Hold on. Sorry. Her passive perception is 13, so
So she sees me. So this is just a straight shot. Hits a 15
that hits her.
for 6
Okay, she's still up. She's looking bad.
and drop back down.
Okay. Vic.
I am. I'm gonna give a healing word on Eldath.
Okay. Okay, she has 7.
And then I'll do a vicious mockery at the priestess.
Okay. I'm sorry. She makes it. The Drow warrior, and so his boat takes. Can you roll that for me, Alex? 11. The boat looks chopped. It's taken down water. He fires his. He's going for Sareth again. Where are you? Sareth goes down. Drazzle.
I'm going to try and hit her once more with a scorching ray.
Okay. That hits. And so you see her, she collapses and her body starts to sink into the sea, to the water.
And then I can direct another one at front of this boat if that's where I see.
Can you see over there?
I see the front of the boat, so I can fire it at the boat.
So you can fire at disadvantage.
Fine. I got 3 to fire, and she's already down.
That misses.
And the other one.
That misses. So the reason I say at disadvantage is because it's still 80. It's more than 80 feet away. So sorry, it's more than 40 feet away. It's 20.
But 13 wasn't enough to hit it.
Nope.
Okay.
Sareth makes a death saving throw. Makes it. Hemeth tries to launch another javelin. This is his last one. Misses. Dolphix.
One thing before on my turn when it ended, she went down.
She is sinking in the water.
Then my movement would be to dive in after.
Okay. Do you have a swim speed?
No, I can hold my breath for 15 minutes.
Okay. You can only move half your
Yeah, that should be able to get me to where she is, 15 feet.
Okay. Dolphix, sorry, I passed you.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna fire a short bow at the remaining drow.
Hits.
Yeah.
I think this is his first hit too. Okay.
And drop prone.
Vic.
I would be up, but I can't see anything.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah, sorry.
I'm just gonna ready an action to shoot if I see a target.
Okay. If you want to move the boat closer, you can too.
It wouldn't help. The light doesn't move with me.
I got it. Now it's Vic. It's your turn.
I'll do healing word over at
Sarah.
Sarah. Yeah.
Eldeth is down, or is she back up?
Eldeth is up.
So they could move the boat.
Okay.
I'll just toss a vicious mockery over at that other drow.
Yep. Takes 4. What's the other part of this mockery?
Disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Next attack roll.
He is going to move the boat out of here. Out of. Oh my night. Move boat. Sarah, or not Sarah. Sarah's arch nemesis. You see him basically put it in reverse a little bit. Wait for that. And that was all of his action.
He shifted gears.
Yep.
Yeah.
Drazzle, are you trying to keep the body at the surface?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull the surface and bring her to the boat.
Make me an athletics check. DC 12. So
I have +4 because I still had my bless on.
okay.
I don't know. Does bless work on ability checks?
No, probably not.
No.
Now it's saving throws. Yeah.
It's saving throw. That's what it is.
So, okay, so you can hold her at the surface. You just can't, she's gonna drag you under if this keeps up.
Okay.
For Eldeth, Eldeth will move the boat over to you though. Go. She's nice like that. So she moves the boat closer to you. Sareth, he's up. He's going to fire at hits the other drow. 8 piercing. 5. Emmeth has nothing to do. Dolphix.
Sure he does. We need to get closer.
Oh.
Let him escape.
Two,
How close can we get?
that close.
That close. That is 10-foot jump.
You're gonna try to jump it.
I just want to look cool. I'm gonna try to jump.
I can get behind that.
Make me of DC 10 acrobatics, since it's a boat.
Okay. So, yeah, he's gonna drop his weapon and just like run, and as he's running, he's gonna try to jump and draw his sword at the same time.
Okay.
It's a 12.
Yep. Make it. Like, it's a little wobbly when you like your footing as you try to jump off, but you manage to land on the other side.
Cool. And then I'm gonna cast my cantrip, Booming Blade.
Go for it.
So, how does this work? So I think I just make a melee attack. So, rapier. Oh, I missed, I think. But do I still have your bardic inspiration, Vic?
Yeah, I don't think you used it.
I haven't used it yet. Is that a 1d6?
Yep.
D6, yeah.
So that's a 16.
He oh, hold on. He was hand crossbowing, so let me see what his. Yep. So it would be 16. What did you get? 16.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Nice.
So then it's just the regular attack right now. So he takes 10 points.
All right.
And if he moves, he takes another 1d8.
Jason.
I'm gonna use my action to light a torch and plant it at the front of our boat.
Okay. Can you see, like you, Ed?
I can see only Jasa and our boat. I can't see beyond it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make global illumination at this moment. Just to,
Oh, so all you saw was Dolphix jump into the darkness.
Yep.
If I can get back onto the boat, whether I next is gonna do dancing lights to
sorry.
very fire to help people out.
Rather than me finding the torch for the moment. Okay. So you light the torch. Anything else?
No, I will just be hidden. I'll go ahead and roll a stealth.
Okay.
To hide behind Sarah's body.
Okay. Vic.
I'm going to call out my last bardic inspiration for Dolphix. I'll just be
Okay.
like, nicely done. That's exactly what I would have done. Do it again. And then I will... I guess I'll do... I'm in range, so I'll do another... Vicious Mockery at the drow.
He got an 18, so he's fine. So he pulls out his sword, Dolphix. Is more than happy to fight with you. It's a short sword. First attack, 26. You take 9 piercing and 12 poison.
Oof.
Ooh,
Second attack,
11 damage?
19.
These guys were
Dolphix, just remember you can use that D6 for your AC. I don't know if it's...
Yeah, but I already used it, right?
No, I
No,
just gave you another one.
Oh, you just gave me another one?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if it matters, but
It doesn't really
seeing
matter.
how much damage that one did.
The second one, I'll use my reaction to cast shield.
Okay.
So it's not.
Okay, so he
You could double that up and he could put it on his AC and you could cutting words it.
Yeah, we don't need to expend that many resources.
Okay, that was him. Drazzle. Athletics, DC 12 to get her in the boat.
better this time. Go.
Yep. All right. So you managed to, with Vic's help, pull her into the boat and her body. and you also can get in the boat with that roll.
All right.
Eldeth asks, "Do you want to move her to move the boat?"
Yeah.
Okay, so Eldeth and Hemeth. No, Hemeth's not in your boat. 2.
And can I have a bonus action I can pull off?
Sure.
Doing Shield of Faith on my friend Dolphix.
What's the range of that? Oh, 6 feet. Okay. Okay. Sareth goes for the hand crossbow. Misses. Sareth. Hemeth can't do much unless Hemeth asks Jasa if should he move the boat.
I can't hurt.
Ram it.
2. He's able to put the boat next to him. Dolphix.
Alright, I'm gonna try to hit him again with my rapier. Casting Booming Blade.
Okay.
22. 8 points.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Jasa.
Now that we're close, I'm going to attack him with my whip.
Okay. Fortunately misses.
And then I'm going to move across.
Do you have advantage?
I can't think of anything that would give me advantage at this point.
You're not blessed, yeah.
No, I'm not. And then I'm going to move across and stab him with my dagger.
Okay.
In my offhand.
That does hit.
Which will do 8 damage.
Okay. Vic.
I'll cast Dissonant Whispers on him.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
There's
The
quite a
combo
few
is
of you
here.
all around. Yeah.
And he's going to have to jump in the water.
He fails. But he takes 12 psychic. All right. So he has to move away from you. That's all, right?
He has to use his reaction to move away, his speed away.
Which would be half once he jumps in the water. Does Booming Blade does not get incited in this, or it does?
It does.
Booming
He
Blade
just has
does,
to move. It doesn't
And
have
this,
to be
and it triggers opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone take opportunity attacks first. Miss.
I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Now you hit. Sorry, missed it. Oh, sorry, it's
For 5, because I don't get sneak attack.
sorry. So 13 between the two of you. Don't
21. That's 7.
Okay, so you kill him before even the booming blade is able to take effect. He drops to inside the boat, and everything is quiet.
Is that shore we can see to the right?
I'm going to... Did Sareth went out, right?
No,
He got brought back up, though.
Yeah, he got
Okay, okay. That may have happened while I was getting the kiddo down.
Sareth is like, they know we're here. We have to keep going. I don't know if that was a scouting party or if that's what that was. They wouldn't
Well,
have.
we've certainly weakened them by removing that other priestess.
But they still pack a punch.
They do.
On Asha, you find a ring, and let's say between the two of them, you find 35 gold.
We're rich.
And you find the ring, and that is it. Unless you want some of their armor or something.
I'm going to keep her body for later on. We've been short on foods.
What kind of armor do they have?
He has. Hold on, 1 second. She has. He just has studded leather.
Oh, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
She has. What does she have? Chain shirt.
Well, I think we should take it all, even if we don't use it.
Yeah.
But I imagine we can put it all to use.
Agreed.
If you want to write it down, there's a short sword, a hand crossbow, a shield, a chain shirt. Oh, hold on. Did I? I might have just said that wrong. 1 second. Might not be a chain shirt. Sorry. Yeah, it was a chain shirt. Studded leather, chain shirt, shield are the armors.
Mm-hmm.
Then short sword, hand crossbow, and a mace
Okay.
are the weapons.
And we're giving the studded leather to Jason.
Well, there may be others who can use it better, and mine, it would need some heavy adjustments before I could wear it. He's much bigger than I am.
Have we made sure that we've given stuff to Eldeth?
Eldeth has something along the way.
I think we got her some hide armor that we took from the Knolls. That chain shirt would probably suit her well.
It would. She'll take the chain shirt and the shield. If no one else can.
And what weapon is she using?
She's using that short sword.
Oh, I'll take the short sword we just picked up to replace the one that Eldath is using of mine.
Yeah, exactly. That's what. So
What kind of armor was Eldeth wearing?
Eldeth was wearing hide, I think.
Hide armor? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
No.
Like, it's the most terrible you can imagine.
That's why I'm not familiar with it.
It gives you a base AC of 12 and allows you to add at least 2 points of dexterity to your AC.
Oh, not great.
No, it's pretty bad.
Um,
But it is better than not having any armor.
True.
So I think that's where we'll call it. As you try to figure out next week where you're on day 24, where you're going to go from here. So thank you guys. We are 20 Sides to Every Story. Please follow us on the channel or join our Discord to find out when we're online and streaming, or join our Discord to participate in random conversations about pretty much anything all times of day. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe or join our Patreon to get benefits like participation in our community campaign, which is most Fridays. Also, check out some really great Extra Life stuff that we're going to be doing 2 weeks from now. A bunch of the DMs and a whole variety of different games, including Alex streaming up to 10 hours. Are you at of Castle Amber?
We're 10 hours right now. We're $195 away from going the full 12.
So there's lots of opportunities to donate or to participate. Just check out the site. So with that, I'm going to say good night. We'll be back next week with a group of us, and we'll see what happens. So.
Thank you.